Okay. So can someone help me with what we did last week? Last time, what did we talk about? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, what did we talk about the last time?
We started a project and then we activated the virtual environment variables, and then we were also able to start an app.
An app in the project, right?
Yes, please, we did.
Okay. So today we are going to look at
we created an app, but we exactly. And you
going to
said
look
we
at
were
the
going
app
to look
folder.
at the app folder, the
Yeah.
content in the app folder.
Yeah. So we're going to look at the app folder, and then we will also write some code. Yeah, we'll try and find a way to consume the 2 hours. All right. So I'll start with, I'm sure you guys can see my screen, right? All right. So when you start with Django, you do your Django manage your PY. Python manage your PY, start application or start app, then the app name. This folder will be created, right? Depending on the name of the app that you use. So when this folder is created, it comes with a number of files and a folder in it. 1 minute. All right, so like I said, we'll look at what the files here in this folder is, and then we'll see how we can use it to write our system. The first folder in it is migrations, right? So migrations folder is a folder that keeps your database, communication, some form of log. It's like a log file. When you are trying to create a table, you have to run certain migrations to create the table. Yeah, so migrations is like, with Django, you don't have to go into the database management software or studio to go and create a database and the tables before you start writing the code. With Django, the MVT architecture, the model part of the MVT architecture, it is full scale. What that means is that when you start writing the code, you don't need to even, at some point, you might not even need to go and even look at how your database is in your database management studio. So Django has made it in such a way that once you've started a project, or everything that you do, you can do it possibly in the project. So that's how migrations come in. We'll look at what we can do with it, or what I'm talking about, how effective it is, right? So the next thing is the admin.py. I don't know if I mentioned the last time that Django comes with its own administration or administrator portal. So since it is a portal and it was not written by us, right? Django has made it possible for us to adjust it in a way or customize it to fit certain utilities that we need, right? So in case you write your models, we'll get to what models is. In case you write a model and you want to see the model to be able to delete the objects, add objects, view objects, update objects, and all that, you apply them in the admin.py file. Okay. And then there's apps. So the apps is like the initial configuration file of the application, the app that we created, and my app that we created. Am I confusing you guys when it comes to what an app and what a project is? Are you guys getting confused on those terms? Hello.
We are not confused. The project is the last time we said that the project constitutes the system you are building, and the apps in it will constitute the various sections of the system.
Okay. Yes. Yes. So this apps.py file is the file that enables us to, or that is in the app folder that connects it to the settings file. So we'll find a way to connect this application to the settings file because of this apps.py file in it. You see, it is generated automatically and it comes with its own parameters like the default auto field. So what is default auto field does is that when you are setting up your database in the modules file, it will set the auto incremental field, which is normally the ID field, as the type as big auto. Big auto means big integer or long, is it big integer? Yeah, big auto. So numbers starting from 1 to in incremental format, Django has a way of generating it for you. And then the name of the app, which will be recognized in the system, will be my app. It's the same as when we were creating the app, the name that we used. These are file that you don't need to worry about. You hardly come to this file. You hardly come to this file, so you might not even need to even worry about it. So modules file. So modules file is a file where we write our database structure, right? There's a database structure, and then there's a database logics, right? And then there's a database queries. Okay, so the modules file serves two purposes. It's where we define the database structure, and also after we've done the structure, when we make migrations, like I said about the migrations folder, when we make migrations, then it goes to set up that structure that we've defined here in the modules file in our database that we specify in the settings file. The last time we talked about the database part of the settings file, right? All right. So tests.py file is a file that enables us to write certain unit tests or integration tests. We'll write integration tests or unit tests in the long run, not now, maybe in another session that we'll do. We'll learn about how to run or how to write tests, how to use code to test our code. That's what basically means. So when you write a feature, you have to auto test it with code so that if it doesn't fail with the code, it means that it will not fail when someone else is using it. Yeah, when someone else is using the system, the logical part of the system. All right, and then there's a views file. So the views file is where we write our thinking, right? It's where we specify what we are thinking about, what feature we are writing, how we want the feature to look, what data we are picking from the front end, how we are processing that data. Every bit about our thinking is done in the views of pi or views of py file. Right. So Django has done this in this way because this is supposed to make it easy for us to manage our programming so that the code doesn't become cumbersome. You can easily write all this or merge all these files into one particular file. You get it? But then when you are writing a huge project, it becomes a little bit of a challenge identifying where what feature is or what code and what it is actually doing. So that is why there's this separation of files or different files to perform certain actions. All right, so any question? Okay, so I'm guessing there's no question. All right. Now, we are going to the settings file again. And those who are taking part in the tutorials, we are going to the settings file again. And like I said about the apps.py file, we have to register our application, the app file that we started. We have to register it into the settings file, right? So to do that, we'll come to the settings file. and then we'll look for the installed apps section. Is someone asking a question?
Please. Hey. Okay.
Hello?
Maybe someone wants to ask.
Okay, I don't think anyone wants to ask a question, so I'm continuing.
We can continue.
Okay. So the installed apps here, you know, Django already has some predefined apps already for us. We talked about the last time that this is admin module app, this is authentication app, content types, sessions. So if we want to add our own apps, we'll just come here, hit enter, and then we'll write the name of the app that we want to add here. Right. So mine here is my app. We'll end with comma. All right. So now anything that I write, any code that I write in the my apps folder will be recognized by the Django server, and then we'll be able to make use of it in the system. All right, so I'm going to activate my shell and then run my server again. All right, so Python 3 manage.py run server 8,000. Let me use 8,000. Why don't I want to use 8,000? Oh no, 8,000. We have a server running somewhere. All right. So it says that I have 18 unapplied migrations, right? So let's go to the views file, right? We are going to write our first view. The last time I mentioned that in Django, there are 3 types of views that you can write or that you can use to write your views. There's a class-based views, there's a generic class-based views, and then there's a function views or the view functions, right? So I'm going to write one simple view using the function-based. Yeah.
Please, the views file that we are in now, is it the one in the main project or the one in the app?
Do you have a views file in the main project?
No.
Yeah, so it's the one in the app.
No, in the app. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, def, you know, in creating a function in Python, you have to have the keyword def, right? So def.
Hello.
Hi, I'm listening. Ask the question.
Yeah, and when I open my app and I'm not having the migration and the views and the other ones. I'm only having init py, assign py. Okay.
Okay. So Amate, I'm thinking you didn't start a new app in your project.
Well, this is just the project. These are the projects.
Mate, were you following last time? Were you following the last time?
Yes, I was. I wasn't able to activate the yeah, I wasn't able to activate the ENV.
All right, so open a terminal or PowerShell. Hello, Mate.
Hello.
Hey, my speaker was on mute. Thought you could hear me. I'm saying that so you
We're
have to set
not
up your
hearing you.
virtual ENV, right? So type
Okay.
virtual ENV space VENV. And hit enter. All right, so now it is created. Now, so you have to activate it. You're using Windows, right?
Activation.
Your Windows, your
Yeah,
PC is
I'm using Windows.
so the code is I shared it the last time, right? Is it dot? Yeah. If you have it, type it here, yes, slash script, capital S. Then what was the last bit? You hit enter. Awesome. So now to start a new app, you have to do Python manage your py, start app, and then the name of the app. You're getting an error, right? What's it saying? Okay, you don't even have Django installed. So now that you have active virtual environment, do pip install Django.
Yeah, I think it's done installing. Eba.
All right, so I think then try the command again, the startup command. Was it the startup command? Yeah, try the startup command again.
Okay. That's the Python manager.
Python manage by start up, then you name it.
All
I'm
right,
sure
so
it has started. So if you go back to the folder.
yes, go back to your folder. I mean, go back to the ID, VS Code that you're using.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm sure you didn't share your screen one. You are sharing them according to what you want us to see. You should have shared your whole screen.
Are you okay? Amata, are you okay now?
Yes.
The folder is there, code book.
But
See, go and click on that. Very good. That's it.
okay, thank you.
But something.
Then hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Can you hear what said?
You said but something. I want to know what you meant by but. You said but something.
I didn't mean anything. Sorry.
All right. So I'm sharing my screen back. Okay. So go into the app folder you've created and then, no, before that, go to your settings file and then add the name of your app to the installed app section or to the installed app list. HTTP, how do you spell that? HTTP, oh,
Index. Rest.
wow. So I'm searching for this thing online and Google is asking me whether I'm a human being. All right, so I didn't want to. All right, there's a package I need to find. There's a package for, wow, there's light out. Guys, hold on. I think my prepaid is out. Hold on 1 minute. Hi, hello. Are you guys still there? All right, so we are continuing. We are going to import a certain class called Django .http import http response, right? I just want us to just print a simple statement like, this is my first web app with Django, right? So this is a simple view, and this view is just going to print, this is my first web app with Django on the web app, right? On the browser. So the next thing we'll do is to, remember I said that after fitting your view, you have to link it with a URL, but URLs hold resources. So we're going to create a file called urls.py in the my app folder. So urls.py, right? So from there, they will import the views file. So from .views, import star. So import star means that we are importing everything in the views module, right? You know, in Django, every file, I mean, in Python, every file is looked at like a module, right? So from that, we'll also import the URL package that Django comes with. So from Django, the URLs imports path, right? So now, there's one more thing that we'll do to register the app. That's app name equals to my app. Now we can have URL patterns at my index. Then the name of the view, right? And the name of the view was index. Then followed by a name. Let's write this code, right? So that I will explain what it does and the meaning of everything that we are writing. So the next bit is to go into the, if I'm moving fast, kindly let me know, okay? Are you guys there?
Yes, we are here.
If I'm moving too fast, please let me know so that I slow down at a pace that everyone can follow suit. All right, so from here, you have to go into the main URL file to register the app as well. So you see, it follows a kind of trend. You have to register the app in the settings file, register it in the URL file of the app itself, and then in the main URL file, so you have to register it here too, so at the base of that app or as the extension of that app. So from my app, import URLs as my app URL. Do you guys remember what as stands for?
Oh,
Come again. Monkai. Oh.
I can see so many things on top now because, but it was like.
I'm listening. No.
I say from Django. Why you are in another file, a different file?
Yes, I'm in another file. I'm in the main URL file.
The main URL is on file. Okay. I get it.
What do you get? You said you get it. What do you get?
No, you know you were in the urls.py file created in the app, our app.
Yeah.
I know the time you switch to the main URLs of Pi. But I was following you trying to code what you were writing there. But all of a sudden, I turned my eye on different place. That's where I was confused. This is where I was typing along.
Let me explain from the views file, right? So what we are doing here is that in Django, I remember I mentioned that there are 3 types of views that you can write. There's a class-based, there's a generic class-based, and then there's a function-based, right? So this is a simple function-based view. When you're writing a function-based view, you have to add a request parameter to the function, right? So it's like a lookup for Django to know that this function is a view. You get it? So when you have a function and its first parameter is request, Django recognizes as the function being a view. And then we want to print out a simple statement on the web app or on the browser saying that HTTP, saying that this is my first web app with Django, right? So after that, I created a file called urls.py in the my app folder. And then in that file, I wrote a number of lines in it, right? So the first line I wrote was I was trying to reference the views file so that I'll be able to get access to the index function. So when I did that, then I was able to do path index. So this index here is the name of the URL. It's a URL like the address that we will see in the browser's address bar. And then the index here is referencing see when I click to see where it goes to, it is showing me the view. You can see the view, right? Def index request, return HTTP response. All right. And then this name here is an optional parameter. We'll learn what it does later on, but for now, let's just ignore it. All right. And then after that, I went into the main URLs file to register an extension for the app. So you see that I imported from my app import URL. So the URLs file in my app that I created, right? As here is an alias in Python. Whenever you are importing something and you do as something, you get it. So like import Django as DJ. It means that you're trying to get an alias for the Django that you are trying to import. Right. So it's the same here. From my app, import URLs as my app URLs. After that, I come to the URL patterns here in the main app, and then I created the extension for it with this line. All right. So my server is random. Come again.
Include what?
Include. So the include here is a function, right? It's a function that enables us to add a lot of URLs to be an extension of a main URL. I don't know how this can make sense to you, but let's take it this way. We have my app, right? My app is like a standing, it's like the minister, right? Let me put it in terms of Ghana politics, right? It's like the parliament, the member of parliament, right? And to know the people in the parliament, like in the constituency, you have to know the minister, you have to know the member of parliament. You get it? You have to speak through the member of parliament. So that's what include that. So include here is trying to include all the URLs that we create in the my app URLs file, in this URL file. Do you get it? So that's why it comes with include. Then the alias that I created for the URLs file is here as well. Then the namespace. The namespace is always the same as the name of the app that we created. All right, so I'm going to a browser And then I'm going to see what I get from this. I'm going fast, eh?
No, it's okay.
Do you guys need time to type what I've written?
We are trying to type.
All right, hold on, this one bit. All right, so there's a code. All right, so when I go to my app /index, right? See, I can see I have, this is my first web app with Django. All right, let me go back to the code. Well, who is typing and where has the person reached? Is anyone typing?
Yes. Oh, but me, I have finished typing.
All right, but have you run it? Are you getting something in your browser?
I can't hear you.
Did you run the code? Did you get anything in your browser? Were you able to run the code that you wrote?
Honestly, I didn't go to the browser.
All right, so share your
So
screen. Let's see, share your screen.
strong my share your screen. Share. This is my screen. I hope you can see me.
It is still coming.
Do you see me?
Yes, yes. All right, so you have new plots. All right, so go into your views file. Let me see what you have there.
Views of the main listener.
Your views
my
file.
okay, this is here.
Cool, cool. What about the app, the new plots URL file? Let me see what's there.
It's also here.
Okay, but it seems you have an error somewhere. So terminate the server and then run the server again. You know how to terminate the server, right?
Control C, right?
Okay. I think it's control.
You are in.
I think it's control C.
We're using. Yeah, it has. I can run server again.
You run the server again.
Python manage .py run server.
All right, so you have an error somewhere, right? You have to. Okay, so you see the URL pattern, right? It says URL patterns, and then the URL and the P is small letters. Everything is in small letters.
Oh, sorry. It should be small letters.
Yes.
Like, is that it?
And the P too. The P is also small letters. Yes, and then add S to it. It's patterns. URL patterns. All right. Okay, so you see now your server is running. So open your browser and then let's see if we can open the code that you wrote.
This is the browser that I want. uh, 127. This
127.0.0.1 : 8001.
I should use the 8,000.
Yeah, it's 8,000. Sorry, not 8,001. 8,000. And then you do no, you're not done typing. / new plots / index.
/ new plots / index.
Yes.
This is my first app with Django. I got it. Yes,
Awesome.
I got it.
All right. So, is anyone also having or facing issues? Amate and Owusu. Owusu, are you following?
Mine has to do with the internet, Charlie.
What do you mean by internet? Share your screen. Let's see.
I mean, network, I mean, it goes off and comes, it goes and reconnects again.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Owusu, J. Please, are you following? Are you also typing? Or are you coding? Or you do that later?
I'm following, but even when I didn't join the class, so I missed some parts, and then I was having some issues. So I will just watch the video later on, and then
All right.
otherwise I'll drag
It's
it
about
back.
30 minutes to the end of the session. We'll look at what issues you're having, okay?
Okay.
All right. So this is a small or a basic function-based view, right? So let me talk about generic class-based views. All right, so with generic class-based views, we are looking at some predefined classes, right, that Django has written, and we are going to inherit them. You guys remember what inheritance is, right?
Yes. In C++,
No, in Python.
polymorphism and Java.
Python. I mean, I did a tutorial with you guys. Inheritance. So we are going to implement some of them. We'll see how it looks like. What adjustments we have to make. We'll compare them with the function base, and we'll see which one we'll prefer. All right. So with the generic class-based views, there are a number of them, right? There's a view for every action that you want to perform. If you want to do a list view, there's a function for it. There's a class for it. If you want to do a delete view, there's a class for it. If you want to do update view, a class for it. Templates view. I mean, they've written it very well, and they've analyzed all scenarios, and they've created classes for them so that it's easy for you, the developer, to inherit and then make use of it, right? So I'm going to use one which is similar to the function-based view that we did, because function-based view here is very, very simple, right? So class, let's say index view, and then we are going to inherit a view called template view. All right. So before we can use it, we have to import it, right? To import it, we'll get it from Django.views, the generic import template view. All right, so the template view since we are inheriting something, right? You know, in classes, when you're inheriting another class, it's either the other class will enforce certain attributes that you have to implement, right? I think in other programming languages, it's called interface or abstraction or so. I think it's interface, C++, it's interface, right? So let me go here. So when you, let's read what this is saying. It renders a template, right? Pass keyword arguments from the URL conf to the context. So the key part is that it renders a template. A template meaning it renders an HTML file, right? So it has an attribute called template name, which will mostly reference a template name that we'll create later. So let me just specify the template name as index.html. All right. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, I think we are good to go.
Right. So that means strong man, you are the only one typing it. Amate, are you okay now? Is the network okay now?
It still goes and come.
Right. So let's go back to the settings file. Remember that the last time we met, I mentioned that there's this list of dictionaries in the settings file called templates, right? And this list of dictionaries or dictionary comes with certain configurations for the HTML files that we need in a project. And then I wrote this in the dirs list, dir/templates. Do you guys have that in your settings file as well?
Yes.
All right, so if you have that, then the next thing you do is to create a settings templates folder, right? Which will be referencing, that's what we are referencing here, right? So create a folder called templates. And in that folder, we are going to create the file name here, the index.html file in that templates folder.
Hello.
Yes, I'm listening.
This folder, you are creating the folder inside the project or inside the app?
Inside the project.
Inside the project. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so inside the
And it is called
inside the templates folder, we'll create a file called
templates.
index.html. Awesome. All right, so from here, right, let's just type some simple HTML tags here. I'm sure you guys know HTML, so it shouldn't be a bother at all. Hello. Oh, wow, ECJ is following me. Are you guys there? Welcome to my Django tutorials. Okay, cool. I'm in light off right now. We might have to end this session early today. All right, so the next thing is right now we have the view, and the view we have an attribute called template name, and we've passed template name to it, right? Right. If you're using VS Code, hold your control key and then click on the index.html to take you to the file that we created. So after that, we are going to add this view to the URLs file so that when we run it in the browser, it will reflect. And so after here, you come down, path, and then let's say we'll give it a name. What name should we give it?
Emma.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Emma.
Yeah.
Are you still here?
Come again.
I said, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
We're not hearing from you again.
ECG took my light. Still don't have light.
Oh,
So yeah,
these people.
mine to end today in about it.
It's not easy. It's my grandfather who asked them to take it. Oh, sorry.
So the name of the view we created or index view, right? So index view for class-based views, you have to add dot as view, right? Open brackets, close brackets, and then we'll give it a name, class. This one is fair. All right, so from here we go to the browser, and then we'll try to access it and see. All right, I'm getting this error. I know what to do. The opening and closing brackets I left out. All right, so it says that, hello, welcome to my Django tutorials. All right, any questions about class-based views? I mean, these are simple views that we are writing. We will look at more complicated ones when we are actually writing more, actually writing features. You get to be actually building features.
Actually, I wanted to type what we type, but okay, I've done this import from Django.view.generics, import template view. I've done that. Okay, class index view.
Yeah.
Please let me write that. So I'll create a class index view. Template. The template is template view.
Yeah, template view.
Yeah.
That's the name of the class we are inheriting.
Okay. Then I just template name out. Okay, that's what we said, index.html.
Yeah.
Template name equals index.html. I've already created a template folder and I've created the index.html, just that I didn't write anything in it.
All right. So have you added it to the URL?
So, no, I have not. Let me please go to the urls.py and let me add it.
Yeah, now.
Okay. So path is class, then index view.as view. Wow. Index view dot as underscore view. Okay. Then the name is what? Class.
Yes, the name
is class.
Hack me.
Okay.
You finally joined.
But my index view has been underlined.
Yes, let me see. Share your screen.
Okay. Someone share your screen. Share your screen, screen one. Yeah, I'm here. You can see me.
All right.
Class.
Why is it underlined?
The bracket. The bracket at the end of as view.
Bring that one.
Bracket of the, I can't see what you are saying.
View. Like index viewed as viewed.
Yeah.
Then you bring open and close brackets.
What was this one?
Yes, yes.
But still, the index view is still underlined.
Yeah, go to your views file. I think there's an error in your views file.
Views. Okay, I'm here.
Okay, so I think it's the naming of the class.
Okay, you see your indentation.
View capital
And then your class
Your indentation. You put the class under the def. So put it outside the def. Under the def index function, put it outside it.
Okay. You can come and put it here. Like this. I think that's it, right?
No, that's not it. That's not it. Indent the template. Go back to the views. Indent the template name well. When you're indenting something, it should be 4 spaces. No, the template name. The template name actually.
Is that it?
Okay, yeah, that's it. And then the index view, capital I.
This one. Okay. Yeah, the underline is gone.
All right, so.
Okay. So now let me go and create something in the H1. I can just do some H1B.
Yeah, some H1B. You can do some H1B. Yeah.
Oh, I should do that. Let me do ATS.
No,
So or if I write this,
it will show. Let's do H1. It will show.
This is my, I have this as my second view in Django. This is my second view in Django. Okay, save. So now, what is next?
I feel there's an error somewhere. Look at your server. The server is pimping an error. So restart the server, okay? End the server and start it again.